It's Gary Parr, it's Fiber Talk, and I'm here at the Attic in Mesa, Arizona with Jean Lea. Hi, G.
Hello, Gary.
We are going to go through, there's a stack of stuff, folks, on the table that's starting to scare me. But Jean has selected her favorite things, favorite samplers, favorite things about samplers, and we're just going to go through a whole truckload of things here and just let Jean just do a mind dump on us.
Thank you.
Yes, this will be fun.
Thanks for asking me to talk about my favorite subject,
All
samplers.
Right. Been wanting to do this for a long time, so
Yes.
we're going to get to do it. All right, so we're going to start here up on the big board here. We have, sorry, there's glass on this one, glass on nothing else. So you folks, sorry, reflection off the window, but here we go. The Deventer Duo?
Deventer Duo.
All right, tell us.
There were about 15 samplers, I think, stitched in an area in the Netherlands called Deventer. And these two, as you can see from the chart, are very similar in their motifs. The one on the cover, front cover, was reproduced by Gigi of GGR Designs from Belgium. Now Gigi is the sampler dame of needlework. She really is so knowledgeable, and she has a very unique collection of samplers that she's been sharing with us over the years. And she and Vicky somehow realized that they both had samplers that were very similar, and they decided to do this joint project, which is a fabulous thing for us because for $30 you get the reproduction of two beautiful samplers. And you can see the similarity in the motifs. This Chinese vase is here and here, for example. And this vase, whatever, is here.
Is repeated there, yep.
This,
and these are done by two different people.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. And I started to stitch the one reproduced by Gigi because it was stitched by a woman named Ida. And my grandmother, my maternal grandmother's name is Ida, and I have never seen a sampler before stitched by an Ida. I'm sure there are, but I've not seen it, so that drew me to this one.
Right.
And I also, it has an eagle up here, which I like. But as Vicky encourages, there's room in the one that she has reproduced to move motifs from the Ida sampler to the EH sampler.
Sure.
You can see there's spots where you can put your favorite motifs.
So you could put your eagle over there if you wanted it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And I've started it.
And this is where you've done
this. I always start in the upper right corner, so that is this.
Someday we'll have to explain, you know, it's upper left, Jean, so you're dead wrong, but we'll have to explore that someday.
Well, why is it upper?
It's upper left. I say.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I used to do it that way, and then
you went upper right.
I changed because Darlene Osteen. I was a Darlene Osteen groupie.
Oh.
And she stitched from right to left, so I changed.
I see. Okay. You were peer pressure.
Right.
Puts you to the right. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So that was.
Here, let me just get a little shot here of the Jean Lea stitching in the upper right corner.
And that's on 53 count, a new linen that's just become available in the last 3 months.
53 count?
53 count.
Oh, who's producing that?
Legacy.
Oh.
Out of, from Excess Commodities.
Oh, tempt me. 50, ooh.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yes. Okay. That's dangerous.
All right.
Hard to come here and not spend money. And then we should just, since we have it up here.
Yes.
This is the original now of the one on the left
of the
here.
EH 1811, correct. Yes.
And this is Vicky's original.
Yes, this is
with
Needlework.
my head and the camera reflecting in the glass, but.
But it's so nice to see the original.
Yes. Yes. In very good shape too.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. All right. On to the next one.
Well.
You're not done with this one?
No, I'm done. But I just want to explain that it was sampler season at Nashville this year. There were so many beautiful samplers, and I really, right now, have sampler ADD. I had to flip from one to the other. I couldn't stay.
Here, folks, let me just show you what Jean has put on this table. Yeah, this is her ADD in full cry. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, now the next one.
The next one we don't have a model of because I've just started it actually. But it is also on the 53 count. And this is what.
Oh, Jean's found a new favorite linen. Look out.
Oh, yes, I have. I have to say I have. But what I didn't know, well, I fell in love with this sampler when I saw Cece posted on her website or on Facebook. And I love anything with roses, so I love that branch of roses. I love the deer. I love the peacock.
Okay, let's see. This is Sissy Bailey Smith's Eliza Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And her design name is Gentle Pursuit Designs. And this is one that she has taught. She used it as a teaching piece. And so I asked her to bring it to Nashville. And I just fell in love with it. I couldn't wait to start it. Well, read all the words before you start, because this row right here is stitched over 1.
Oh, no.
And here it is on 53 count linen.
53 count stitched over 1. More power to you, Jean. More power to you.
It's really going to be pretty.
It is.
If I can endure.
I'm with you 100%. It's really pretty. Yep. More power to you. Yep. That is a beautiful linen. Holy smokes, is that nice?
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes. Oh.
Here I was trying to see what it would do with 103 silk, so that's why I stitched that little bit in there.
All right. All right. Now, next.
All right. Another beautiful one from Nashville. I haven't started it yet because I don't have the right linen, the right color, but this was English Garden by Samplers Not Forgotten. And when I read about it before the show, I wasn't sure whether it was a reproduction or an original design because it didn't say. And when I got to the show, I realized and learned from Kimberly that this was an original design because she bought this frame years ago and she wanted to find something to put in it, so she designed a sampler to fit the frame.
Oh.
And I just think the sampler is magnificent.
Yes. And then these are the threads for this?
These are the colors, yes.
Which will barely show up, correct?
Yes, I'm sorry. Should have taken them out of the
That's all right.
plastic.
No, I mean, just the camera won't reproduce those well anyway. But anyway, so.
Okay, that's another one.
All right.
So then, this was one of my favorites. And should I take it out of the bag?
No, we'll be all right.
Okay. This is Innocence from Cross Stitch Antiques.
Okay.
And several weeks following.
I say we're going to be all right, and let's.
Should I take it out?
Pardon us, folks. We're going to take it out.
I should have done that. I'm sorry. But several weeks.
Here, watch Jean take it out of the bag. There we go.
No, don't. You said I wasn't going to be on camera. 2 weeks after Nashville, Kathleen Littleton, the reproductionist, and her family were vacationing in Arizona, and she came to the attic on Saturday and taught a design class, design your own sampler class. And I will show you in the newsletter in issues to come, someone took the class who learned to cross stitch 2 days before the class. She took the class and she's now designing her own sampler. And it's just fascinating.
All right, that's overachieving right there.
Yes. But we were fortunate that day to see the original next to the antique, and it was just fabulous. You can tell from the size of the samplers that this one, the original, is done on uneven weave linen, because this one is on 28 count. Zweigart, the reproduction. And you can see the difference in the size.
Right. Yep.
But the center poppy, Kathleen did a magnificent job in capturing that. It doesn't show, of course, in the photograph, but in person, it's just magnificent. And this was our silk conversion.
Now our next one. I have this one.
You do?
I have yes.
Oh, wonderful!
This one.
Good choice.
Yes, Savior's Praise, Teresa Vanette, Shakespeare's Peddler. I really like this one.
I loved it. And this, too, when I first saw it on the computer before going to Nashville, I was not sure whether it was a reproduction or an original design. And I learned that it is an original design, as it says. An amazing piece of sampler designing. The border is the most unique border I think I've ever seen, with the elements, the ship, the house, animals, but then the words, faith, love.
Yes.
I love it, and I couldn't wait to start it. I'm doing it on 5260 and in Tudor silk, and what was really special is the word love and the alphabet lend themselves to not just cross stitch, but I changed it to a rice stitch.
Oh,
it just
okay.
seemed to be perfect for it. So it shows up a little better, gives it a little dimension.
Yes. Now, seeing just that little bit makes me want to haul that thing out and kit it up. Because I need 10 more things kitted up so I can start. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But see, all the ones you've started here are making me feel good about my mess, so good for you.
It's time for Stitch Mania, and I don't think I have to start a thing. I can just work on these.
No, you've got 30 days here, easy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, this was the next one. And
one of Gigi's.
One of Gigi's. And one of my customers is stitching it, and I asked her to bring it in to share with all of you because.
All right, so this is Maryknolls, 1824. Let me get the camera on that.
Oh, sorry.
Maryknolls, 1824, The Finding of Moses.
Yes. Really unique sampler in elements and in the way it's charted and designed.
And this is a customer has done this.
Yes, this is Anne Bellevaux, and she has started it. She's done the border is all over one.
Look at this, folks. Look at this. She's got the border completed all the way around.
Isn't it just magnificent? And
wow.
And then the woman is over one.
That whole thing is over one?
Yes. Yes. And the alphabet is over two, but much of the sampler is over one. This fabric is a 30-count legacy linen that is magnificent. Feel the hand. It has just a fabulous hand.
Oh my. Oh my.
It's very, very enjoyable to stitch over one.
That's a 30 count?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's so silky.
I know. It's just a beautiful linen.
Wow.
But then every linen that you see that is a legacy linen is a beautiful linen.
Yeah. I'm really surprised at how silky and smooth that is. Really surprised. Yeah.
And Anne is using the silk conversion that we did. It's charted for hand-dyed cottons, but many of these elements are over one, or parts of them. For example, the branch would be over two, but then all of the little buds and leaves are over one.
A lot of detail work. And what do we have there? Is that a lady?
That's Moses.
Oh, that is Moses.
Yes.
Okay.
And there's Finding of Moses.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes.
It's just a magnificent sampler and very, very unusual.
Excellent.
All right. Next, this wasn't new in Nashville, but it was last year's. I think it was new.
Okay.
And it's called Antique Sampler Fragment, and it came to my attention again because Kathleen brought it with her when she came to teach at the Attic, and she brought the original and her reproduction, and we could see them side by side.
Okay, now this is Cross Stitch Antiques, Kathleen
Littleton.
All right, headmister.
And there I'm doing the reproduction on my favorite 53-count linen.
Excellent. Oh, let's wait.
What?
Colors, threads.
Oh, threads. The threads.
We've got all of it here. Yes, we need to show these things.
Okay, these threads are actually the threads for the Eliza Palmer sampler, the one I showed a little while ago.
Okay. And then these here are for for Kathleen's new one.
Yes.
Because I love that palette. That's really nice.
All right.
You know, one would almost think Kathleen knows what she's doing.
Yes, she has beautiful, beautiful things. Now, this is totally out of order, but this is a really unique sampler. And unfortunately, I didn't bring the picture of the entire sampler. It was reproduced by Lindseylaine Designs in 5 parts. This is part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4 and part 5 go here. And they are really some of the most beautiful. But, and these are the colors.
That carry through all of it.
Yes.
Okay. And so each of these is a little a square, its own standalone sampler that
Yes.
all go together.
Yes, except that the ones on either side go for the full length of the sampler.
Oh, I'm getting the picture now. So we do these 3 in the middle, and then we have 2 panels on the outsides.
Right.
Oh.
And when she had the antique with her in Nashville, and not this year, but a couple years ago, and it was just magnificent, and I fell in love with it. Unfortunately, I fell in love with too many of them.
No comment. No comment on that. Now, this one here that you're pulling out of the bag, this is the one of all of this that jumps out at me. I love this.
You love that one?
Yeah.
Yep.
I would do that as a standalone.
Yes, yeah, and that's the beauty of it. You can. I love this one, this part, but when I was doing the research to be with you today, it was so much fun going through the bin and finding these treasures because sometimes you forget.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. All right.
All right, next. Sorry.
And yes, folks, that's the discard pile there that Jean is going to have to sort out. Sorry. Now this is Sarah Stewart Hardman's.
And this is from Needlework Press. This was released to the general public at Nashville this year, but it was last year's Attic Stitch Along, so we've had it for a year.
Okay.
And that's
so this
why
is Vicki Jennett's Needlework Press.
Uh-huh.
Sarah Hart, age 7. See, this is the thing about these 7-year-olds,
I know,
you know?
I know.
Where does this come from, that
I know.
7-year-olds do this kind of thing?
This one
Look at
had
that.
particular
Wow.
appeal because it is very similar in its elements to a sampler that has enjoyed popularity for decades. Now I forgot the name of it. Anne Rayner.
Oh, okay.
Anne Rayner is the other one. And so this one, in some respects, I like better because it doesn't have an alphabet, it just has a verse. But the bottom part is really, really similar.
Yeah, now look at this building here.
That red building?
Yes.
Yes. And all the little animals over one.
Yes, let me get over on the thing that show the animals. It's all over one. Well, there's a lot going on in this thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten
And that's
to
all
that.
solid down in the bottom there.
It
that
is.
whole-
It is.
all solid, yeah. And you got the building done here.
I do. But not the grass, and not the animals. There was some disagreement about whether the woman is holding a baby or holding some flowers, and I think Vicki charted it both ways.
Okay. I can have
So
a
that-
baby or I can have
yeah,
flowers.
right,
Okay.
right.
However I want it.
Right.
All right. Way to be versatile, Vicki.
Okay, here's one that I have to have on a time schedule because this is another one from GGR Designs. It's called The Betrothed, and it's one of the most beautiful samplers I've ever seen. I started it a couple of years ago to stitch as our anniversary, our 50th anniversary sampler. But now it's coming up, and I'm not very far. So
Oh, so you started something you gotta finish now.
yes,
Oops.
I'm gonna have to do.
You're gonna be busy is what you're gonna be.
To do self-discipline on
Oh
this
my,
one.
look at that. Hold that still. Look at that.
Isn't that
you are gonna be
magnificent?
busy in spades.
I know,
All right. I extend my sympathy.
but look
But
at
look
how
at that.
beautiful.
Yes. worth every bit.
Isn't it beautiful?
Here, let me just.
And these are the colors. They're not going to show up because they're in the bag still.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, but look, and I love the. I wish people could see the true color of the linen you chose. It kind of shows here, but that is just
Isn't
beautiful.
it beautiful? Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
And then this right here, I should use a pointer so that people don't have to look at my hand. But look at that. I love that.
Isn't that gorgeous?
How far does that go? We should look
all the way across.
all the way across to the. Oh yeah. Yep. Oh boy.
Isn't it a magnificent sampler? Oh, I love it.
Okay, we know what you'll be doing.
I know. Well, it's I have a year from August to finish it.
All right. Well, plenty of time.
Right.
Famous last words.
Right.
Now this.
This is a Bristol orphanage sampler. I find them so compelling. This was reproduced by Dutch Treat Designs for, and she presented it at a sampler symposium for us a couple of years ago. Claudia of Dutch Treat Designs. And I had worked on it some, and then during my illness this past year, I found a monochromatic sampler was easier for me. So I almost finished it. I'm getting there. But I love Bristol Orphanage samplers, and I hope to be able to go to the Muller Museum.
So that's
someday
interesting.
soon.
So monochromatic was just easier for you to do during that time.
Yes.
So this was
Yes.
perfect.
Yes, it was. Yes.
Oh, that's great.
All right, let's talk about the one on the easel. This is one of my favorite samplers. Also, it's a reproduction from Hands Across the Sea, and it's very unique because I've never seen another one with a young boy on a rocking horse. I thought it would be such a lovely sampler to do for a birth sampler for your grandchild or your child, either boy or girl.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's.
And these roses here on either side are done over one, and I think they're just magnificent.
Let me see if I can get some of the detail. Yeah, look at that.
Isn't that magnificent?
Mm-hmm. And again, I say this many times, pulling out those motifs and making them a standalone item.
Yes.
Now that would be look at that.
Yeah.
That would be just beautiful, just
Wouldn't
by
it?
itself.
Yes,
Yep.
it would.
Mm-hmm.
And the verse is nice too. It's a beautiful one for children. Life's road let me cautiously view, and longer disdain to be wise, forbearing such paths to pursue as my reason should hate or despise. To crown both my age and my youth, let me work where religion has trod, since nothing but virtue and truth can reach to the throne of my God.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never seen this before, but Eliza records that she wrought this with her mother at school when she was 12.
That's different.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, the showpiece of that is the rocking horse.
Mm-hmm.
And the rockers, the design in the rockers.
Yes.
I think people tend to look at the boy and the horse, but don't shortchange the rockers.
I like the border too. It's so colorful.
Yes. Yes, all the way around. Yep. Excellent. All right, now this next one is the first Hands Across the Sea sampler I bought.
Oh.
Don't ask if it's done.
I won't ask that.
Yeah, don't ask. Don't ask.
No.
Elizabeth Beavan, 1835.
This is just an incredible sampler. Really unique because of all the animals in the border. And also the beautiful embroidery at the top and all throughout the border, really.
Right?
And some in the vase with the flowers.
Yeah, see, that was the one, that vase right there is the one that made me buy it.
Really?
Yep. Because I thought, even if I only stitch that, I've got something pretty special.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
But if you love animals, and who doesn't? We all love animals. This is really a
all the way
stunning
around, something
sampler.
different, all
Yes.
the way. Yep.
One of the most popular of Hands Across the Sea's reproductions.
And Vanna, it's Nicholas sized, just for you. There we go. All right, Elizabeth Beavan. All right.
All right, next, do you want to put that one?
All right, the next one. Now this is colorful.
Isn't it the most beautiful sampler? Oh, it has been truly one of the most popular samplers that we've ever sold through the attic. It's reproduced by Samplers Remembered. It was part of our summer school curriculum a couple of years ago, and Linda Danielson has a collection of Spanish Mexican samplers, and this was from her collection. I love it. I think it's so colorful.
It was Luz
Gonzalez,
Gonzalez,
1851.
Spanish colonial, okay.
I love it because I love anything with roses, and it has a lot of roses. But
Almost a band.
it's
Can we call it a band sampler?
Yeah.
Kind of
sure.
has that look
Sure.
to it. Yeah. These designs up here at the top, though, just classic, colorful.
Aren't they beautiful?
Yeah. Gorgeous. So that's Luz Gonzalez.
Yes.
All right.
All right, next.
Now this next one, Mary Ann Farmer.
This is a reproduction from the Scarlet House, and it too has been a very, very popular sampler. Last week we were fortunate, and I'll have it in this next issue of the newsletter, to have Tanya's original antique side by side with the reproduction, and it's so much fun to see them side by side.
Oh yeah, whenever you can, I think it is, isn't it? To see how it.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, this is more Vanna sized here. Yes.
She had the antique in for reframing, and she came to pick it up, and so we put them side by side and took a photograph.
Yeah.
And it reminded me what a beautiful sampler it is.
Yes. That's nice. All right. Next up.
Let's do Mary Rowe.
All right, Mary Rowe.
That's another Scarlet House reproduction, and it too has been very popular. I especially love it for several reasons. I love the band of flowers across the middle, almost the middle. Isn't that beautiful?
Yes,
Oh,
it is. Look at that.
But my very favorite part are the hillocks that
Oh my.
that are done with rice stitch. That's one of my most favorite sampler stitches.
Yes, look at that texture. Wow.
Isn't that beautiful? And they're really easy to stitch.
Mm-hmm.
Very pleasurable.
Here, let me back up just so people can see the whole thing here. See, now right there, if you look at it, you could take just that top half and make a nice small sampler out of that too.
Yes, absolutely.
With the verse and the vine. Yep.
Absolutely.
Be real nice.
Same thing with the bottom.
Yeah, actually, yes. Look at how that works. Yep. Same thing. Yep. Okay?
All right.
Now we got Elizabeth Sheffield.
Yes. This is a reproduction brought to us by the Scarlet Letter, and it is a Rhode Island sampler, and it is part of a group of samplers that have a similar style, with birds in the border, flowers in the border. What's really unique and beautiful about this particular sampler, this row of strawberries is all over one. In the row with the house is over two, but all the people are over one.
Oh my.
Look at the detail.
Yes. Here, let me just see if I can, how close I can get. There we go. Over one. Done in 2 hours by Jean Lea.
No.
Yes.
And then the verse is over one, of course, as many are, but then the row below it is also over one.
Some beautiful detail in there. Look at those birds.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah.
And some of the flowers in the border are over 1. And it's interesting, this bird is over 2, as is this one, but the bird in the upper right corner is over 1. It is so spectacular.
Yep. Yeah, if you're willing to do it, the over 1 detail is worth it. Can I say worth it? I think I can say it's worth it.
Yes.
Yes. Excellent. Okay.
Well, as long as we're talking about Scarlet Letter samplers,
Keep going.
let's talk about Emilia Boys. This is another favorite of mine, I guess because the church that has such a prominent position in it
Yes.
reminds me of the church that was my home church when I was raised in Wisconsin, the church that I was baptized in, confirmed in, and married in.
Oh.
And it's just a beautiful,
Here, let me see
magnificent
if I can
building.
get in so we can see the. Oh yeah.
And I love again, the row of roses
Yep.
above.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That you have started here. Let's see. Just a little bit here started.
Mm-hmm. Started. That's my...
Started. Yes, started. You're the master of started.
I am.
Yes.
On somewhere, and I don't have the paperwork here. I thought I did. But this is another beautiful sampler by the Scarlet Letter, and it's very unique. It's called Jesus Wept. And what makes it unique is that it had 2 samplers framed back to back.
Oh.
And this one is a motif sampler with a verse on it. And the sampler that was on its backing was just a long verse.
Oh.
And it was
They were
stitched
framed
over
back to back.
Mhm.
The originals.
Yes,
Oh.
yes. And I love this, and I'm sorry that I didn't bring more of it to show you. I love the birds.
Oh yeah, that's where I was headed. That's where I was headed, was that bird right there. Yep.
And I'm stitching it in Gloriana Tudor Silk on the 5260, my favorite.
Yes.
Now it's back to, as long as we were talking about buildings, here's another building. This one is, I should probably take these out of
All
the
right.
paperwork.
Well,
for
while you're
you.
taking it out, I'm going to look at this here.
Solomon's Temple from Jean Designs, also called the Anne Mon 1851 sampler.
You know, if Gigi would work at it, we might decide she has some talent.
Oh,
You know?
she has an incredible collection of samplers, and she has an amazing sampler knowledge.
All right, now we're going to look at Hannah Sanderson, 1849. Now this is dense.
Isn't it?
Oh, is it pretty?
Isn't it gorgeous? I just love it. It was originally reproduced and printed in a Needleworker magazine. I can't remember the name of it. And yeah, it was called the Needleworker magazine. And the magazine has long been out of print, and people were aware of this sampler and were begging Claudia Dutcher of Dutch Treat Designs to reproduce it. And she has finally done that. And this is a customer's model, Kathleen Bourne. She brought it with her when she came for an attic event, and she has graciously let me display it for a little bit
Right,
longer.
yeah.
It just takes my breath away. I just love it.
Oh boy, that's really something. And that's Hannah Sanderson, 1849. Okay.
All right.
Just let me just savor this a bit here, Jean.
Sure.
Just give me a second here.
All right. Sorry.
Oh, wow, there's a lot going on there. But it's also well done. Okay.
Not very much blank linen on
No, no, there's not. No, there's not. All right, now.
All right, now. I'm very privileged to be able to exhibit both the reproduction and the antique. This is M. Woods from My Lady's Needle. And this is really what started my journey down the road of loving uneven weave linen. Because as you can see, I'm going to move this if you don't mind.
Yep.
So we can look at the reproduction, which is done on 40 count linen. And you can see the difference in the shape of the linen.
Yes.
It's very obvious that this is done on an uneven weave linen. And I counted it, and it's about 5260.
Okay.
This is what exactly what is available to us today. And I just feel like that's what it is meant to be stitched
Right.
on.
Yeah, and then you go to more conventional.
The 40 count, and it's an even weave, of course, so it changes the shape a bit.
Yep. I love being able to look at the original and the reproduction.
Side by side.
I think it's always so telling. And the colors, now the colors are pretty darn close, other than just cleaner and newer.
Yes. It's a beautiful, beautiful
Oh,
sampler.
it's just got a nice little flavor to it all the way around. Yes.
The little animals over 1, and the verse, I think, is over 1. Yes.
Beautiful.
Which is a nice little challenge on
Right.
5260, but it's all right. We can do it.
That's what magnifiers are for.
Yes.
Yep. All right.
That's all I have for you today.
Well, that's pretty good. Thanks, Jean.
My pleasure. Thank you.